And we're back!
Huh? Hello?
We're back with Sunday.
Oh, there it is Sunday.
Yep, it was hiding.
It's been my route, and I haven't been here for 2 days.
Yep,
Good.
and we've got like
I
20
need
minutes.
my boyfriend now.
I know you need
No.
your boyfriend, but we got like 20 minutes because you need to go to sleep in 20 minutes, so.
I do.
Alright. We try to keep off the road, in the brush on our way to Duke's house. Despite the situation, the biggest thing on my mind right now is the ticks. Funny how the mind works. Faint shouts and yells coming from the town are more frequent now. Another pop comes from that direction. It reminds me of the gun Kudzu has tucked into his waistband. He's never used one before, and it took us a solid couple of minutes to decide if he should even stick it in there. Another pop. I can't help but think that that's where the motel is, where Jenna might be. Here, though, not much is out of place aside from the smell of smoke on the breeze. That is, until we come across a body hanging from a tree about 100 yards from Duke's house. I'm the first to notice it, and when I do, I gasp and instinctively reach for Kudzu. He catches my hand, then looks up as he holds on to me. It's high up, maybe 50 feet, but from the markings on the fur, I think it's a fox.
Oh, Jesus.
Kudzu whispers next to me as I look away, feeling my stomach turn again.
What the hell? How did he even get up there?
I look back, and I see that he's hanging by his wrists. I don't think he could have done that to himself.
Yeah.
We both stare up at him for a little while longer, long enough to notice the long vertical slashes down his back.
Those are the same cuts I saw on the other guy.
Kudzu whispers distractedly. But who put him up there? Kudzu's silent, and I keep staring up at the guy, the first dead guy I've ever seen. Suddenly, all my motivation to get Leo starts to evaporate. Kudzu rests a hand on my shoulder, and I jump.
Sorry.
Kudzu pats me.
You alright? I'll take you back, okay?
That sounded like the best idea in the world right now. I hesitate. When I think of Leo, I imagine him in the same situation I was with Brian. Duke didn't seem as fucked up, but I have no idea what he's capable of. The thought makes it feel as if my heart is dropping through the ground, so I grip my teeth and shake my head. No, I'm okay. Kudzu looks at me closely, then nods.
Okay, let's move back toward the road. Though, I don't think anyone is around right now anyway.
I want to move towards the road too, mainly because I'm actually starting to worry about moving further away from town really is dangerous. Duke's house is dark as we approach it. As we get closer, though, I see flashes of light from a window well. We both crouch next to the house, behind a small cluster of sagebrush.
I'll be right back, guys. Sorry.
Okay, Seb, you be Kudzu then for the moment.
So all I can really think to do is knock on the door and see if he's there.
I swallow.
You stay hiding, of course, but if he does come out, I don't know. We may try to put him down right there.
Then I'd come and help out. Then I'd come out and help. That's what I meant to say. Kudzu lets out a low chuckle.
Yeah, but again, I'm not sure if that's what I'll do. We might be able to talk him out of this.
Yeah. I don't have much faith in that plan.
But if he isn't there, well, we'll probably go in and find Leo, alright?
Okay. My heart rate picks up as I realize how close we are to making this happen. I start to have second thoughts. Maybe we should have at least looked for the sheriff. Maybe we should have gone straight to the motel.
Alright?
I can tell Kudzu is nervous too, as he wipes his hands on his tank top before standing up slowly.
Watch from here. If he comes out with his gun, though, I'm not going to try anything.
He hesitates.
And if I get shot or something, don't help. Just run back to my house and start looking for your other friends, I guess.
Now I'm really starting to feel unprepared for all of this. Everything is moving way too fast. There isn't really any time, though. We have to save Leo as soon as possible. There's no telling what Duke might be doing with him. As Kudzu starts to move away, I get the urge to hug him. He's done so much for me already, saving me and now trying to save Leo. But by now, he's already halfway across the yard to the house. I hold my breath and watch as Kudzu's dark form meld into the blackness of the house. It's like he's being swallowed up by it in a way. After a few moments, I hear him knock on the door. I listen, trying to breathe through my mouth instead of my whistling nose so I can better hear what's going on. Kudzu knocks again, much more loudly.
Hey,
It's
God.
Cud. I need some help.
I look up and down the road, worried someone's going to hear shouting. There's a slight rustling behind me, and I look back, eyes wide. I don't see anything at first, but I feel like there's another shape behind another grove of sagebrush about 20 feet back. Something crouched, the moonlight defining its shape through the brush. I squint, completely stopping my breathing. It looks like it has a tail, a really thick one, like an otter. Was it Dale? I can't even tell if it really is a person, though.
Chase.
Kudzu whisper shouts, and I jump before stumbling to my feet. The shape behind me doesn't move at all, and I try to reassure myself that it's probably a rock. I jog over to Kudzu as he tries the door, trying to not think too much about what I just saw.
Locked.
He looks around for a while, then starts moving down the side of the house.
Look for a window.
Are we gonna break one?
Maybe should take... Maybe. Should only take us a few minutes to... Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Should only take us a few minutes to sweep the house. Then we can get out of here.
We quickly spot a window on the back of the house. Kudzu looks in and bites his lip.
I'm just worried that Duke might still be in there, with a gun or something.
He bends over, picking up a sizable rock.
Well, not much choice. If I say run, run. Got it?
I nod, and Kudzu lifts the rock above his head before smashing it through the window. The sound is probably the loudest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. I cover my own ears, like it's gonna lessen the sound. Kudzu jumps to the side, away from the window, reaching back to hold on to me. The fur on Kudzu's body frizzes up, and I see his ears perked up as far as they can go. Once the final tinkling of the glass subsides, we both listen. My ears are ringing, but the only other sound I can hear are the chirping of the crickets. Finally, Kudzu lets out a soft breath.
Alright, let's go.
I help him push out a few more of the shards of glass. Once that's done, the raccoon hoists himself inside, very carefully maneuvering around the sharp, broken edges. He turns and reaches out to me, helping me through in the same fashion. Even though I'm trying to be careful, when I bring my arm in, it drags along a jagged edge of glass sticking out from the side. I grimace, the fiery pain taking a moment to really set in.
You okay?
He grabs my wrist so he can pull my arm up to examine it by moonlight and sucks in a breath.
You might need stitches for that.
That's when I see blood starting to ooze up from the fur. It's only about an inch long, but the amount of blood coming out is surprising. Damn it, I'll take care of it after we find Leo. I pull my arm away, despite Kudzu still trying to take a look at it.
Alright. I'll see if we can't find something to wrap it in.
Kudzu starts fumbling along the wall and finds a light switch. I'm surprised to see a fairly quaint and tidy home. Unlike Kudzu's trailer, though, there's barely anything in it. There's a single sofa and a very old-fashioned TV in what I presume is the living room. There's a fireplace and a few dirty-looking chairs on the other end of the room. In front of us is a long hallway with a few doors on both sides.
Alright, check every room and door. It's not a very big house.
Kudzu sets down the hall.
Look for stairs. Feel like he'd be in the basement.
As Kudzu goes into a room to the left, I peer into the one on the right. It looks like a bedroom with a single twin in the middle of the room. I take a few steps in, looking around and not seeing anything else. When I turn back around, I do see some picture frames hung up on the wall. Seems kind of odd for someone like Duke to have those up. In the pictures, I see a very much younger Duke, or at least a pre-meth Duke. Next to him is a female weasel. Her smile is small compared to Duke's tooth-bearing grin. She's in 3 other pictures next to that one too. Weird. I wouldn't have thought anyone would want to be with Duke, especially someone as pretty as that weasel. I move on to the next room, and this one is completely empty, painted white. The next door down is the last one on the right side of the hall. This is the only door that's closed, and like the last room's walls, it's painted white. It's taller, and seems to be a bit thicker than the other doors. When I try the knob, it's locked. Kudzu! I whisper, and Kudzu pokes his head out from the door just behind me.
What's up?
I point at the door in front of me. This one's locked. Kudzu stands in front of the door and presses his ear to it. I see his hand hover in front of the crack between the door and its frame. Then he reaches out to my hand and pulls it to the same spot. He looks at me.
You feel that?
I'm about to say no, but that's when there's a noticeably cooler draft coming from within. It's kind of cold.
The basement. I bet my ass that Leo's down there.
I swallow. Should we try to break down the door or something?
I don't.
Kudzu's ears suddenly perk straight and his eyes widen. My fur bristles out. What? That's when I hear it. The crunching of gravel. Kudzu grabs my arm and starts pushing me back down the hall towards the back room with the broken window. At that moment, I hear the knob turn and suddenly my path changes as Kudzu steers me into a room on our left. It's one of the rooms I hadn't looked into myself, and I see it, it's a storage room. Boxes are everywhere, and so is a bunch of junk. I guess that explains why all the other rooms are so spotless, and that he's not using his basement for storage. Kudzu looks around desperately for a moment, then pulls me behind a mound of boxes, just as I hear the door swinging open. DJ, you want to be Duke?
Sure. Problem The problem ain't that he got away.
I just realized, actually, Seb should be Duke, because if we do get to Leo within the next 8 minutes, you would be talking, so...
I've been talking to myself. Yeah, what's wrong with that? I mean, come on.
You got this, Seb.
Yeah, okay. The problem ain't that he got away.
Duke is practically screeching when he comes inside, as if he's been waiting to be indoors before he yelled. Underneath Duke's pattering feet on the wooden floor, I hear 2 loud thumps, and I know immediately who he's with. My blood runs cold, and my breathing seems to stop, worried that they'll be able to hear even after that.
He's behind all this. He's gonna make things so much worse.
Hannah?
Oh, did you pick up on that or?
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay. Huh.
I hear a non-committal grunt from the bear, and I shudder at the sound of his voice again. I feel a light touch on my back as Kudzu rests his hand there, trying to comfort me.
What do you mean, huh? You like the dreams you're having right now? 'Cause trust me, it's gonna get a hell lot worse.
I hear a smacking sound, which I imagine is Duke's tiny hand trying to slap Brian in the face.
Fuck you staring at?
Duke's grating, nasally voice echoes around the carpetless house.
Your window.
There's a moment of silence as I hear something shifting around. Then suddenly, I hear Duke's footsteps bustle down the hall. I duck more deeply behind the boxes as he passes the doorway to our room.
Fuck! Someone fucking in here.
Brian's lumbered down the hall, basically standing right in front of our room. I hear 2 more thumps and a bunch of rustling as Duke ineffectively beats at the bear's bulk.
Idiot. They broke in!
I hear a jingling of keys as Duke continues to shout.
Check every fucking room. I bet they broke through the basement window too. Fuck.
Now that he says it, breaking through the basement window might have been a better idea.
I was just thinking that.
Oops.
Looking between a crack in the boxes, I get a flash of the weasel walking past the door again. He's holding something long and shiny. I shrink back against the boxes, wondering how in the world I got here. I stare at the ground. As I stare at the ground, I also wonder if I'm about to have a heart attack. I focus on watching the blood seep from my arm, pooling on the wooden floor next to me. I hear a key go into the lock and the doorknob turn.
I swear to God, if that wolf ain't down there, I'll blow your goddamn face off.
Duke's voice fades away, accompanied by receding footsteps down the stairs. The heavy footfalls of Brian start to move around, slowly towards the other end of the hall. Kudzu moves his hand up to my shoulder. I look at him, and he holds a finger up to his lips, then points in the direction of the broken window. I don't want to move at all. In fact, I'd rather sit here and just disappear into the floor. Somehow, though, I'm able to force myself to my feet as Kudzu tugs me up. We move very slowly to the doorway, and there Kudzu holds up a hand, making me pause. I watch his ears perk, flicking in the direction of Brian. My hearing probably isn't nearly as good as his, but I'm still able to pick up the bear's heavy, labored breathing. You hear some shuffling, then more heavy footsteps. Kudzu freezes as we both listen to the bear move back into the hallway, then his footsteps fade away. I imagine he's moved into another room, and that's when Kudzu finally peers around the corner. I hold my breath, but Kudzu reaches back and grabs my wrist, pulling me out into the hall. It's empty and quiet, and as quietly and quickly as we can, we move to the end of the hall to stand next to the broken window. Kudzu sticks one leg out of the window before balancing his entire weight on both his hands that are resting on the bottom ledge. Like a gymnast, he moves the other leg out and quietly drops onto the ground outside, his head narrowly missing the top ledge. I don't think it's because he's a raccoon or an actual gymnast, but there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to do that. Kudzu's already reaching for me, though, his eyes wide with frantic worry. I can hear shuffling sounds behind me again, coming from one of the rooms. Kudzu reaches out towards me, then suddenly waves his hand wildly in the direction of the room right next to me. Heart pounding, I almost stumble through the doorway into the room. This one has a few chairs stacked up against the side of the wall, and what looks like a closet door. Brian's footsteps thump down the hall again, and I almost gasp as I get a glimpse of his massive shadow through the doorway. But then it disappears as I hear his footsteps move into the room right next to me. From just inside the room, I see Kudzu slowly pop up and pop back up in front of the window, then motion frantically towards himself. My legs are like jelly, though, and I hesitate. There's a raspy dragging sound in the room right next to me that almost makes me jump. It's the sound of a cardboard box being slid across the floor. I hear Brian mumbling.
Definitely not paint.
I force my numb feet to stumble out into the hallway, towards the window. Kudzu reaches for me, his eyes desperate, but then I hear the shuffling behind me again. Why is he moving so fast now? Automatically, I step back into the room, while Kudzu continues to beckon to himself. Brian's lumbering footsteps move down the hallway, slowly in my direction. Kudzu is ducked back down, out of sight. I'm alone, and trapped. I remember the closet at the last minute, and lunge towards it, not having enough time to worry about the sound I make. Somehow, the closet door glides open with hardly a sound, as if the hinge had recently been greased. I step inside, then swing the door shut, trying not to let it snap closed. At that exact moment, Brian's lumbering gait enters the room. I shrink back against the wall, holding my hands to my mouth, trying not to breathe. My heart beats so loud, it's the only thing I can hear as it pounds in my ears. I hear coughing and grunting coming from behind the door, then it goes quiet. I wait, unsure of whether the bear has left or not. Slowly, I walk up to the door, pressing the side of my head gently against it. I listen, trying to see if I can hear anything. I swallow, then reach up to rest my hand on the doorknob. I think about making a run for it, maybe trying to make a dive through the window. I might get hurt, but if I'm able to get away... I wait for feels like 2 or maybe 3 minutes. It's completely silent on the other side. I wait even longer, to the point where I'm sure there's no way someone like Brian could have kept quiet that long. As slowly as I can, I push the door open. And immediately it comes into contact with something on the other side before it's even a foot open. It's soft, whatever it is, and the door almost bounces back from it. I wait for a moment, then, as I'm starting to realize what's happened, a massive bear paw reaches around the edge of the door. In the next half second, the door is ripped open, and I find myself facing Brian. A weird, numbing feeling spreads down my crotch and into my legs as I sag in front of the bear. My mind refuses to think, to even process what my eyes are seeing. What it does process is pure terror. And I think we'll call it there.
Just to be very clear, he would have gotten away scot-free if he wasn't dumb.
Yeah, unfortunately. Chase makes a lot of bad choices.
Jump out the damn window, Chase.
Yeah, there's a...
It's better than hiding in the... Maybe they'll even see you, but shoot, man.
You have a gun.
Well, he doesn't. Kudzu does, but yeah.
Kudzu has the
But still.
I'm surprised Kudzu doesn't shoot the bear, to be honest.
Kudzu, he's not murder happy. If he can get through this without killing anyone, that's his ultimate goal.
That's true.
Not necessarily that, just that he's not a battle-trained individual.
Well, there's that as well.
Like, he's a normal human being. He's going to panic and not want to fight. He's just not stupid.
Yeah, there's that too.
Well, and it almost seems like... So we haven't seen what they're doing to Leo. But it's weird, because what's his name? Meth head.
Duke.
Duke seems like... Duke's, like, has a nice house, and, like, pictures of a woman that was important to him. He seems like a lot more dimensional, so to speak, than the bear that's just like, hi, I'm a weird-ass person that enjoys inflicting pain on people.
Don't worry, you'll get to learn more about both Duke and Brian as the route progresses.
Nice.
I will say, in all honesty, in my opinion, Kudzu is the most... His actions and how he acts seems the most reasonable out of every character in the game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He seems to be like the one person who seems to be immune from the whatever's going on and driving people crazy. I feel like everyone else is affected by that, including Chase.
Not even that. It's the fact that...
well, yeah, he's also running on actual logic, too.
Yeah, like, he's a... he acts like somebody who wants to live, who wants to make it through this, who's thinking about that, but also panics, and also... He just feels the most realistic, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
He's the least horror character, yes.
Yeah.
Kudzu, if anything, if he was in a horror movie, he is basically the final girl, but like the final girl that actually earned her way there because, they made the right choices throughout the story.
Yeah. He's not the, like, really dumb hot girl that ends up making it to the end anyway.
Leo.
I was actually going for Chase as the dumb hot girl, but yeah.
Chase is the
that
dumb
for
hot
Chase, too.
girl.
Chase is the dumb hot girl, Leo is the dumb hot girl's boyfriend.
Well, then the dumb hot girl's boyfriend always dies. You know that.
No, sometimes they're like the only couple that survives, right?
Well, no, that's the final girl. The final girl gets to have a love interest. There's no other romantic couples that get to survive, typically.
I mean, sometimes dumb hot girl is... Either dumb hot girl's the first to die...
If she is the final girl...
Or the one who survives.
Yeah, if the dumb hot girl is the final girl, then yes, she gets to have the boyfriend.
Yeah. Dumb hot girl... So horror films usually go one of two ways, and I'm not actually a big horror buff, but they usually go one of two ways. Dumb hot girl and dumb hot boy are the first to die, and you kind of almost enjoy it. or dumb hot girl and dumb hot boy are the only ones to survive because of the sacrifices of all their smart friends, and you hate it.
I don't hate Chase. I think he's really dumb. I
Oh
just
no,
think
I don't
he's
actually
stupid.
hate
Because
Chase.
he
He's
is.
not. He's not dumb hot. He's not straight up dumb hot girl in like the horror film, right? He's likable.
Yeah, for me,
Well,
Chase, I actually
you
like
get
Chase as a
there.
character, but like, I will fully admit he is stupid in my opinion. But like,
He does.
but for
I mean,
me,
he's under duress. If I were under duress, I'm not sure if I'm not sure
no,
how I
not
would
just
act
the
either.
duress. Chase makes some honestly baffling decisions sometimes. Like, think back in Carl's route when like Carl is possessed. He's like, hell yeah, I'll have sex with my boyfriend who's possessed.
That's very true.
Chase will make sometimes super baffling, stupid decisions, but he doesn't have to make the dumbass decisions all the time. It's only on certain routes where he's like, it gets cranked up an extra notch of him being stupid.
Yeah, that's fair.
But he's
So
not. He's not always stupid, at least.
I realize this means very little to you guys, but there is a reason why I call him Corwin's body double. Because one of the most notorious things from the Book of Amber that I know of, or at least that's notorious to me, is Corwin almost dies because he's horny. Now I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
That's dumb. How does that work? Well, it works like this. There is a trap where a woman is being, quote-unquote, assaulted by a group of demons, or whatever they are. He doesn't know what they are yet. He recognizes, hey, this is a setup. That woman's not actually under attack. They're not actually harmed to her. This is a staged thing. They're trying to lure me in, but dang, is she hot, and I want to hit that. So I'm just going to jump right into this trap. What do you know? It's a trap. And I'm being dragged away so they can kill me. That was probably not smart.
Considering Corwin also in the same book series has at one point a preferred death, and that is to die being stepped on by an elephant while having sex.
Wait, what?
That is Corwin's preferred way to die.
Yeah. There is, in fact, there is a scene where he is bleeding to death. And, like, he's legitimately dying. Like, he's fading in and out of consciousness. And he's like, I'm alone in the snow. It's freezing. And I'm losing blood. And I can barely stay awake. I'm going to die here. And do you want to know what one of his final thoughts were? Man, I really do wish my sister wasn't related to me.
Oh, whoa!
Corwin has a lot of issues.
Granted, it's
I
not
love it.
because he's ashamed of the fact that he wants to sleep with his sister. It's because their
Dad
father
had a
is
rule
the king.
against it.
Yeah, their father is the king of reality and quite literally put a rule in that says, no, you can't sleep with your sister.
I love it.
Yeah, Corwin's got the most issues in that entire book series. No,
Believe
I'm
me.
wrong. Merlin's got more issues. than
Merlin's
Corwin.
Merlin's definitely got more issues.
But yeah, don't get me wrong. When you think, oh, well, at least he's good enough to only wish for incest, not actually commit. No, he straight up sleeps with his niece.
Great niece, like great grand niece or something.
Gross.
She is Benedict's granddaughter.
No, great granddaughter. It's 3 generations.
Okay.
It's her mother
Still.
and then grandmother.
Yeah. Corwin's Corwin. That's really the only way you can describe Corwin.
But yeah, that's Amber. Well, at some point, like I would love to talk actually about Amber, but it is copywritten, and I know that the Zelazny estate's actually fairly fierce about protecting their stuff. So as much as I would love to do like an Amber like podcast or whatever, it would not be able to fly.
I think it would be as long as you, because like it'd be
We
under
have to
the
get
same
permission,
thing.
but they're very, very protective of it. Like even getting the RPG out for it took a lot of negotiation from I think his name is like Wojciech.
Well, I'm saying in the terms of like just talking about it, because like it would fall
Oh,
under
yeah.
the same thing as like D&D.
Well, yes, talking about it's fine, but like I was meaning like doing like an actual like live play podcast because you wouldn't be able to do that because you'd be using the characters, things like that, you know?
I guess. I don't know.
If anything, I probably would be able to do it if I'd like altered things and made it not Amber and just named the kingdom something else and came up with my own version of the family.
I'm pretty sure you can put like everybody in this is owned by the, you know.
No,
like,
they're very fierce about protecting it from my memory. I'd have to look into it though.
I don't know. Like
Either way.
I honestly don't know.
Either way, this is at the end of just some episode of Echo, so this is kind of weird. We should wrap this up.
Yeah.
All right.
Support Amber. It's
Bye,
a great
everybody.
it's great. It's great.
It's a great.
All right.
It's a great.
Goodbye.